Sonia Gandhi, is that her real name? Her birth certificate says her name is Antonia Maino. Her passport application, Indian passport application, also gives the name as Antonia Maino. So why is this name Sonia Gandhi being used? All right, Gandhi I can understand, she married Rajiv. But why Sonia? Because Sonia is not even an Italian name. It's a Russian name. Antonia is an Italian name. So why is Sonia Gandhi's name, why has she taken the name Sonia? Where did this come? Lots of rumors are spread, but the reason is that her father was in jail for 4 years as a prisoner of war. He had signed up with Hitler's army. Hitler's army went into Russia. So in Vladimir, near St. Petersburg, he was taken prisoner and kept in jail for 4 years. But unlike in all other German soldiers, where Russians never released them before 20 years, in his case they released him in 4, which is taken to mean that he must have capitulated and agreed to become a member of the KGB, and that is why he was let off. So, therefore, he came back and changed, he gave the names of Russian names to all his children. Of course, there's one point which I don't want to really get into it because it's irrelevant, but I think I'll mention it. According to Sonia Gandhi's birth certificate, she was born on 9th December 1944. But at that time, her father was in jail in Russia. Now, unless like Jesus Christ, some mystery, some immaculate conception took place, I'm not able to explain how this is possible, that she claims her father is Stefano Maino, when her father was in jail at that time. That leads to another mystery. In parliamentary records, Ms. Sonia Gandhi says she was born in Urbasano, near Turin. But the birth certificate says she was born in Louisiana, which is on the border with Switzerland. It was a resort town for the German soldiers during war. So why should you hide your place of birth unless you don't want your birth certificate to be known or you don't want people to investigate? So I leave that as an area of speculation which not connected with the... Of course, if she comes on court cross-examination, then the lawyers have a legitimate right to ask her, where were you born, on which date, who is your father, and where was he at that time. These are all permitted cross-examination. It seems to be a problem with the Nehru family. Nobody knows who is his father and who is his mother. Now, another thing is says that Sonia Gandhi faked her degree, Cambridge University. Is that wrong? I got a letter from the University, Cambridge. She has given an affidavit, sworn affidavit as a candidate that I studied English in the University of Cambridge. And I got a letter from the University of Cambridge that there was no such student, ever. I went to court, and finally what the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court told me, be generous, Dr. Swami, be large-hearted, this is an old matter, leave it. Of course, subsequently, Sonia Gandhi has dropped from her affidavit the claim that she was educated in the University of Cambridge. That itself is an admission of perjury, because in one affidavit you say you were, in another affidavit you say you keep silent on it. It means that you have admitted perjury. But unfortunately, our society is not tough enough. In any other country, if you had faked your educational degree, or even in our country, an ordinary man gets an employment by faking his educational degree, he loses his job. And the Supreme Court has repeatedly upheld that one of the most heinous crimes is to fake your educational degree to get a job. And here, somebody who wants to rule the country has faked it. The only objection I have to Satya's advertisement in the New York Times is he says that she passed high school. She did not pass high school. Beyond fifth class, she did not study. In this, she shares a common educational background with Karunanidhi. Now, it says in the advertisement that she worked as an au pair. What did you work as? If you were not studying in the University of Cambridge, you were 5 years in England, how did you support yourself? Don't you think we have a right to ask this question? Even in marriages, we ask these questions. Where you study? Every detail is asked for. The antecedents are asked for. Why can't the antecedents of Sonia Gandhi be asked for? Where did you work? 5 years. Without a high school certificate, without a college degree. Where did you work in London? And for whom? The country has a right to know. I'm telling you, I have done an investigation. It is shocking what I found out. It is for her to say. If there's cross-examination, certainly she will be asked this question. Where did you work? Who were your employers? Can I not ask this question? If I apply for a job, the first thing they'll ask me who your previous employers were. And here you want to be the leader of the country. You have no right to ask this question. For that, they are putting a defamation case in order to silence you, so that you won't ask these questions again. In the citizenship question, is she a citizen of India? She is a registered citizen. She got the citizenship by registration. Of course, after almost 18 years, after being in India. But in the form which I got a photostat copy, which is there in my website, I've scanned it, it says, have you renounced your citizenship of that is Italy? And what does Sonia Gandhi write? Not applicable. Why? How can you write that? A junior officer objects to that. Say, no, you can't write that. You have to present a certificate from your government to say that you have renounced your Italian citizenship. She produces a letter from the ambassador of Italy in Delhi saying that Sonia Gandhi has informed us that she has renounced her citizenship. And Indira Gandhi orders that should be accepted. Under Section 10 of the Citizenship Act, any irregularity found at any time in the citizenship forms filled out by the person is an offense and can lead to the cancellation of citizenship. A new government in India, without Sonia's chamchas in it, can easily cancel her citizenship with one stroke of the pen. The Home Minister can write, I, having satisfied myself that Ms. Sonia Gandhi did not fill the application forms properly, hereby order the cancellation of her citizenship. So, her future is very bleak in this. But I can ask a question. She has connections with KGB. Well, I told you, her father was in jail. She has been accused by a person who was appointed as a member of a commission to investigate KGB affairs in Russia by President Yeltsin, who then wrote a book in which he said Rajiv Gandhi and her family were regular recipients of KGB money. And they were paid through companies set up by the family. It's there in black and white in Yevgeny Albat's book, The State Within State, the role of KGB in Russia. It's there in writing. And Yevgeny Albat came to Harvard to get a PhD, and I ran into her because every year I go to teach, and I saw her. I asked her. She said, yes, I saw the documents. These were given to me as a member of the commission. Then I asked the Americans, do you have a record? They said, it's all there in the libraries. So I went to the Harvard Library, downloaded it, filed it in the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court then issued notice to the CBI. Go find out. The CBI came back and reported the Russians are ready to give the originals and attest the copies, provided we give them a letter rogatory, which is a communication from the courts of India to the government of Russia. And that letter rogatory cannot be obtained unless you register an FIR. But the government of India refused to register an FIR, and that is why my case went by abeyance. That case can be revived any time. So what is wrong in saying KGB? There's prima facie evidence. It's for her to prove or disprove. She has received $2 billion into her name in 1991. Who says this? The government of Switzerland. Why do they say it? Because the Americans put pressure on the Switzerland government to tell them about Marcos, Imelda Marcos and whatever that other Marcos's name was. Fidel. Ferdinand Marcos. Ferdinand Marcos. And they put so much pressure that the Swiss authorities tabulated all foreign leaders who had accounts, illegal accounts, and they put the photograph of Rajiv Gandhi in a magazine called Schwester Illustrated. Schwester is another name for Switzerland in German. And that has in it a caption under Rajiv Gandhi's photo. He and his family owned $2 billion November 1991. And who was the beneficiary of Rajiv Gandhi's death? Sonia Gandhi. All that money has gone to her. All the money of Indira Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi. Most of the money of Sanjay Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi. Death is very profitable for Sonia Gandhi. I would say that any criminal case, the first suspect is always the beneficiary. Someday we may have to find out. So what is wrong in asking these questions? Antique smuggling. Her sister, Anushka, that's a Russian name. Her real name is Alexandria. But father gave the name Anushka. She has two shops in Italy. One is called Ethnica, meaning Revolta, and another is called Ganapati, in the hometown of Sonia Gandhi's mother, or Bassano. And photographs have been produced, I've put it in court, and it shows antiques stolen from all over India. Who carted them there? The LTTE. People wouldn't believe me when I said that, but only now when the Italian government has announced that they have arrested 33 LTT persons in Italy, that people have come to know, maybe there is something after all. Quattrochi used to sell weapons to the LTT. And LTT has a huge presence in Palermo and in Naples and Milan. Now, of course, the Americans have got tough with them, so all the European governments are now cracking down on them, including Canada. So, anyway, antique smuggling. Why should the sister of Sonia Gandhi have an antique shop in the first place of Indian antiques? So that these are smuggled, they will be kept in the shop, then they will prepare bogus bills and take it to London and auction it with Sotheby's and Christie's. This racket also I documented, court was convinced, issued notice to the CBI. CBI went to Italy, Italy wrote back, give us a letter rogatory. Need an FIR for that. Government of India said no. We will not register an FIR. The matter is there. No further.